Hey, welcome to the live stream. Let's go up a few minutes early. I'm Peter. That's Bolo. He's eating like an iguana. He wants to be fed by hand. Let's see here. Melvin's here with Storm Riders Aquatics. That's good. Welcome, Melvin. Who else is in the house? Hey, She's Aquatics. How are you? Thanks for being here. Really appreciate you being here. And what's going on, gang? I'll tell you what. Zen Ginger's here. Tampa Tom. We'll talk a little Guppies tonight, and we'll talk about other stuff as well. But look at this whole crew, really great people already here. 6 people in, 2 thumbs up. I appreciate it. You know what I need to do, and I haven't done yet. Let me share this. I don't know about you, but sometimes I forget to do those things. So let me do here. Let me go to FishTubers notifications. And let me pop that up and just write in live now. And let that set in, and then we'll get back to what we've been doing. So I've been setting up an arranged marriage with my guppies, and which is sort of the fun deal that we all have going around, and so when you go out and you set up, essentially, when you're selectively breeding fish, especially a fish like guppies, where you only have to put a couple together, it's all good. And Chichi, I'm looking forward to the fish rescue as well, and so I set up. Well, I had a tragedy in the fish room, and I received a pair of red blonde cobra guppies from Michael's fish room. And here's what happened: is the female, I've had them for over a month. The female all of a sudden stopped doing well. And another aquarium where I had some issues with fish not doing well. So I've been, I started treating those aquariums up, and I've lost, and whatever's going on here, 2 females now. So I have this gorgeous male, and I don't have another red cobra, a red blonde cobra female around. So I put in a couple of swordtail females, young swordtail females. Hey, Jesse, HC Agua in the house. Well, what's up? Bolo and I are here. Bolo decided he's hungry, so he wants me to feed him. This is how spoiled my dog is. Watch this, gang. You know what? I'm going to show you guys his trick here in a moment. Hey, Big J's, welcome. Chewy, lurking. All good. 7 here, 5 thumbs up. Thank you guys so much. And so, I'm not going to waste that male. So I put it, and I have all sorts of extra swordtail females. So I put 2 swordtail females in there. And so I've got that going on. So I set females. Tomorrow's video, you'll see that comes out at 11 Eastern, 8 Pacific. You'll get to see the males I pick out for the 2 tanks of breeders I set up for the swordtail guppies, which I think you'll like. And so that's good. So, I'm pretty excited. Things are moving forward. So I lost a Roebuck red female. My Roebuck reds all of a sudden had this start clenching their fins, and the male looked terrible. So I put the treatment in, and within 48 hours he looked great. One of the females, not so much, and she had she was basically dead. So we had to say goodbye to her. And so that was not fun. But I have lots of fries, so that's the most important thing as we go out and we build this in. I was talking to Doug Gray about it. Oh, Bolo wants to get down. All right, Bolo, whatever Bolo wants, Bolo gets. All right. And so, yeah, the mail looks just terrific. So I don't know what's going on. It's there's nothing really mass. It's just all of a sudden a couple of fish going in there. Doug Gray should say, shared a thought that they may have changed something with my city's water. So when I have something happening this week, it's really a pain in the neck. Hey, Tater Salad, what's up? Griffin Fish Room, welcome to the live stream. 10 people, 5 thumbs up. Thank you guys so much. This night, I'm enjoying some delicious Dasani water. Let me have a sip of this. So my landlord, they're going through all the properties and they're going to be spraying for insects and pests, which is good, I guess, and dealing with HVAC. So I have all these new aquariums I haven't quite set up yet. And I'm going, do I really want them coming in with like 20 aquariums set up? 10, I can talk about that. I can go through that. 20, that begins to look a little too much since, they know I have fish, mainly because the maintenance guy's been in here a couple of times with me. So he has seen the fish, but he hasn't worried about it. I just think 20 tanks may be a little too much. So what I'm going to do is that I have to get this room all set up. I have to take everything out of the cupboards, and they're going to be here on Tuesday. So Bolo has to go to doggy daycare for the day. And now the good news is I have a ring and I can know when they're coming in and out. They want 4 hours of not being here. So I've got tomorrow. I have to hit the Goodwill store, pick up some some sheets to go over the aquariums, and just go at it right from there. So you'll get to see what I do tomorrow. I have close-ups of the male breeders I picked to go in with the females, and so let's see what happens. There's a male I really like, but I don't know if his sword is coming in well, and I wasn't going to get him starting to breed with fish if all of a sudden he really doesn't have a sword, but he has a really unique coloration. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to let him grow up a little bit, and when I get the new aquariums up, I'll put him in with 2-3 females and allow the magic to happen. So what's going on in your fish rooms, everybody? You guys said, it's yeah. So Doug Gray said that may be something with the water. They may have changed it. So when I fill up my water bucket here after the landlords come in on Tuesday, I'm going to double up. I got CChem Prime. I was using the API, and everyone goes on and on about CChem Prime, which is great. And thanks, Chewy, for bringing that up. Yep, 11 watching, 8 likes. You guys are great. Really appreciate it. So they go through with this. So I'm going to empty this out and I'm going to carry it up to, I have like all my stuff in the guest bedroom. So, and I have to clean out the cupboards. So I'm going to put tubs in the living room with my stuff. So, with all the stuff there. And then I'm going to set up extra tubs upstairs, those totes, plastic totes or tub, whatever. And I'm going to hide the new aquariums behind. So that's good. And then the trash can, which has the water in it, I'm going to dump that out. I'm going to top everything up because, again, it's winter and my heat is on. And, any of you who are in Missouri's not necessarily, we're not in Minnesota. We're not in, it's not like we're in Canada. Hold on. Sorry for the. Okay, Bolo, come on up. Oh, he's ready. So you can see he's ready to chill out. And here's his new toy, by the way, everybody. Has a little heart on it. So there you go. So I'll go get that set up. I'm guessing tomorrow I'll be doing a lot of that. And obviously, Monday after work, I'll be just finishing everything, get it, I'll make dinner, do that, and then just get everything set. And I'm gonna have to get I may have to even though I hate doing it, I may have to do McDonald's for breakfast and like hit Subway for lunch on Tuesday. So yeah, I'm not real thrilled about that, but I'm going to be getting ready to buy that house, and when I get into the house, I'll never have to worry about that again. I can set up 100 aquariums if I want to, and I will say this about our hobby is that the more you set up, the more you go. So picking out breeders and getting that going, that's really important for me to get in place and to get all the fish right and ready to go. So I'm really in the business of getting that set up. My Roebuck Reds, I'm gonna be at the point where I have to pull stuff off it's you would select Charisse Theron and Selma Hayek. Well, Mr. Gray, I agree with you. That would be very nice. It's my ex-wife sort of looked like Selma Hayek, so there you go. And yes, my ex-wife's Mexican. So the process of setting up the new breeders and getting everything going is a real important thing. So I've got to get that rolling in. And so I've been setting up the breeders, and as frightening as this is, if you're doing it right, you're going to have a lot of guppies. So that's great. You got 12 snakes. You see, the whole deal about snakes and reptiles is that I get the appeal. It's just I've never done it. I had a cockatiel for he was 12, 13 years old when he all of a sudden I got home from work one day and he was expiring, and the process of the birds thing, for a long time I wanted to get a bigger bird, but you have to have sort of like a plan, uh, to see who takes care of it after you, because you know I'm almost 50, and I'm going to tell you something is that you get an African gray parrot, if you're taking care of it well, that's living 40 to 50 years. Well, I'm going to be dead. And so you need someone to go at it right from there. Yeah, there's there was a news story, Doug Gray, about a cursing parrot. There's a macaw in Great Britain that apparently belonged to Winston Churchill. Yes, it's still alive, or at least live 10 years ago. And the name of the bird was Charlie the Curser. And apparently, a pet shop in London is the owner of it. And apparently, all it does is cuss. So it's British. By the way, Prince Andrew, for those of you following, who's had a problem with hanging out with pedophiles, he got kicked out of the Buckingham Palace. He's on his own. He's 59. So, like many people new on their own, leaving home for the first time, I'm sure Prince Andrew is getting lots of spaghettios and ramen, top ramen, and essentially, I don't know about you, but when I first got out away from the fam, I enjoyed that peanut butter on bread, mac and cheese, good eating, good eat. By the way, the whole ramen thing was just never good. I think it actually makes good kindling to start fires, but going on from there. Zen Ginger says there's nothing wrong with that. Parrots and pirates have been cussing for years. Yeah, it's true. And yeah, Doug Gray loved SpaghettiO so much to make real spaghetti. So there you go. Yeah. Oh, you see, Peter Parker turned his living room into a secret base. Well, that's what I'm doing here with my fish. My entire living room is fish oriented. I do have a couch. I have a recliner. I love my recliner. You know who doesn't like the recliner? Bolo. Bolo likes to sit off to the side. He doesn't sit on your lap. He likes to sit off to the side, and then he'll put his front feet and his face on on your leg. That's it. That's what he likes. That's what he does. So dealing with setting up the breeders, setting up all this sort of stuff. I've got to go. And Doug Gray gave me a great idea earlier today. I have to go and pick up um, from I have to hit PetSmart because I have to pick up some frozen baby brine shrimp because my fish will not be getting brine shrimp. On I'll set it up so on Tuesday morning I'll feed them immediate first thing in the morning. Bolo is a Pomeranian. And Pomeranians, by the way, come in a wide kaleidoscope of colors, and black and tan is one of them. So that's the little gray you see on him is because he's old, and he's 12. So it's yeah, he's a cute little guy. He's cute, and they're cute dogs. So the deal is that yeah, essentially my living room is all fish stuff. I have like a center table that a coffee table. My coffee table, okay, it's got my water on it. It's essentially, other than that, fish stuff. I do, for whatever reason, have paper for my printer. So there you go. Yep, Bolo the Wonder Dog. I was out walking with him today, and some woman, I have a neighbor a few doors down, a nice guy who's blind, and some lady was picking up, and she goes, "Can I have your dog?" I said, "No, you can't." And yeah, there you go. A cane corso. That's a real dog. Bolo would run him. Bolo would set him straight. He likes big dogs, but once a big dog makes a mistake of batting him, done, over with. Bolo takes care of business. So yeah, the aquarium coffee tables. Yeah, when I get into the new house, that's what I'll have to do. That's what I'll have to do. So it's you know plans this week. Thanksgiving for those of us in Estados Unidos. I know Canada does something very similar to that. Do they celebrate it this week, or do they celebrate it some other time? They do Canadian Thanksgiving. Very polite. They're very polite. They don't argue politics. And they don't serve green bean casserole. Canadian and tater salad. Are you from Britain, or are you an Aussie? I can't remember off the top of my head. I apologize. Um, it's the process of this whole week. Um, this entire week is sort of a weird deal. So I'm new to town. So, and my sister doesn't live all that. Oh, you're from Denmark. That's right. I to yourselves from Denmark. That's right. Sorry, I should have remembered that. Fellow Scandinavian Punchy, 54 Punchy, welcome. And so that's good. So Bolo, or so my sister's in Chicago, but I have to work on Friday. So essentially, it's like, so I picked up today some smoked turkey wings and some potatoes, and I'll pick up like some lettuce or something, some veggie of some sort on Wednesday. And then I'm just camping in to watch some football on Thursday. So we'll be here for our normal live stream on Monday. I'll have a couple of videos come out this week. My next, um, I'm planning on going to Kentucky. I own shares in a couple of racehorses. It's not that big of a deal. And it's not like extravagant amount of money. And so, I'm single. I have time on my hands. I can keep away from spending money on like knickknacks or you know, having the bride say, "Oh, let's go to the craft sale. We just got paid." Um, so I've been just putting a little extra money into horses. So one of my horses is called Wayne O. I'm going to Churchill Downs. I'm going to Louisville. And so he's running on Saturday. So I can escape from work about 11 a.m. So I'll just come home, I'll feed the fish real nice, and I'll take Bolo with me, and we'll drive to Louisville. And we'll probably get most of the way there. We'll stay at a hotel, probably an hour or two outside of Louisville. Then I have a buddy there I'm going to meet for breakfast or lunch or something, depending on what's going on. Oh, are you? Oh, excellent, excellent. Um, I would love to spend more time in Louisville, but I've got to get back, and so I'm going in just to see my horse run, and I'm hoping now I may change my mind on going. Is that they do a lottery among the owners, and for Wayno, there's probably 3,000 owners, 2,500 owners, and so they do a lottery to see who gets into the owner's box and who gets into the paddock, who gets into the winner's circle if he wins. He won his last race. So, which would be really cool to do. If all of a sudden I don't win one of those lottery seats, I may think a little bit more because it's a lot of money. I could buy another share in a horse. So, or stuff for the fish room. So I'm weighing it out right now. But as of right now, I'm planning on doing it. So it essentially means I'll drive to like, 10 p.m. on Friday night. Then I'll get up real early, drive to Louisville, get Bolo into daycare at like a PetSmart, and then go to the track and hopefully get a lot of pictures. And oh, Jeff Peterson does. Holy capoly, Doug. And that'd be good. Do you think he has a room for Bolo and I? Would he put up with Bolo and Bolo's wanting to run his house? And by the way, whenever I take Bolo anywhere, he's very well toilet trained, but for whatever reason, he's in a new place. He's like sniffing every corner, and you get him. He's an intact male dog, and he gets close to. He begins sniffing stuff out. I have to watch him like a hawk. And once he tries to lift his leg once or twice, and I yell at him, just yell no, emphatically a couple of times. We're cool. Ah, excellent. Well, it's Jeff Peterson's the man. So yeah. So other than that, I fed my Guppy not Cyclops, that Daphnia today, frozen Daphnia. I have a couple of slices of of zucchini. I had zucchini with dinner. Put that in one with the Amica Splendens and one with the big tank with the plecos and the snail farm. The assassin snails, they are assassinating. They're killing a lot of snails. They're like ninjas. So that's sort of the deal right there. They are unbelievable. They're great. And so I'm enjoying them very much. So yeah, so the guppies are doing well. My plant growth is going real well. In fact, I was able to spread out plants from the other aquariums into two of them that didn't have any fish in it, and it looks relatively well stocked. Then when I get these new aquariums set up, part of me, by the way, doesn't want to go see the horse run, so I can set up aquariums next weekend. That's probably one of the real big deals for me. So we'll figure that out. But seeing your horse run at Churchill Downs, pretty nice. And so, and the other horse, I have another horse that's running right now. She was to run on December 7th in California at Los Alamitos. But she has had a little bit of an injury, not a bad injury. She just all of a sudden wasn't moving right. They gave a molecular test of one of her feet. One of her feet, everything is fine, but it's swollen a little bit, and they say it has a hot spot. So Lazy Daisy is the other horse that I own. Now I'm not. There's not that many owners in Lazy Daisy. It's Lazy Daisy probably has 800 owners, 700 owners, and I just have a share in her. So it's her majority owner is Eric Johnson. He's a defenseman for the Colorado Avalanche, and I own one of 1,250 shares in 12.5% of the horse and its value. So it's sort of an investment that could pay off really well, or it couldn't be. So it's kind of like the fish. It's like enjoyable. It's fun. So yeah. So the Amica Splendens, by the way, I have to do a video on them. They are really. I mean, how big they've gotten is just insane. And I keep veggies in there all the time. And oh, that's weird that the assassins now tater salad is do the assassin snails go after your shrimp at all? It I read stuff back and forth. Nope, they don't. Yeah, I've read stuff back and forth that if the assassin snails have something to eat, they'll never touch the shrimp. I purchased and the guy sent me more. I purchased 10 fire red shrimp, and he sent me like 13, which is really nice. I got them off of Aquabid, and 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 for the longest time, they sort of hide away, and I have places to hide in my aquarium. The most I ever saw at one time was like 7 or 8. Well, now this is about 2.5 months in. I'm seeing a lot of shrimplets. I mean, a lot of them. I was going through, and I bet you I saw about 60 of them. I mean, a ton of them. So, which is really cool. So, my first shipping of beasts off of Aquabid probably will be, or eBay will probably be shrimp because I'm gonna have a lot of them here. And the new 10-gallon aquariums I'm setting them up to have shrimp and guppies. They're not going to be bare bottom. I'm going to put a little bit of gravel on each one of them, and we're gonna allow that to go in. So that's exciting. And I'm gonna get another variety or two of shrimp. I don't know which ones yet. I kind of like I like blues a lot. I already have reds. Um, and I have a buddy of mine who has the yellow ones. They're pretty cool. That's Ring letting me know that there's motion at my front door. Probably one of the neighbors. But as you can tell, Bolo's not that excited. He's snoring. He doesn't snore loud, so you really can't hear him. But yeah, so that's sort of the deal. So Galaxy Rasbora, CPO crayfish, coolie loaches in some of your tanks. I love coolie loaches. They're great. They're really, really cool. I have so many bottom feeders though in my 55 that it just doesn't make sense for me to put them in, but I love them. I love coolie loaches. I think they're fun to watch. I think they're really good. I'm really enjoying my corridoras that I have in there, the shrimp, and of course the super red plecos. Um, and yeah, I'll tell you what, Doug, the breeding of the coolies, they do breed in captivity, but no one knows exactly how. From everything I understand, is that hey, is Ambus Aquatics here? Hey, what's up? Oh, Green Jade so well in Logan. I didn't see you. Welcome to the live stream. And yeah, Green Jades. Yeah, maybe that's what I get. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I'm gonna get this. This rack up, and then we'll work on what's next. And yeah, that's what I've heard. And I've heard, Doug, that the coolie loaches go under the sand and breathe there. I've heard of them getting into sponge or under sponge filters or inside, box filters and breeding in box filters. But I don't know if they've gotten to the point where where they're totally understand what signals breeding. For most fish, you sort of know what is going to create it. Guppies are easy. Bettas, you have to feed them up right and get them in the right conditions and stuff like that. With Danios, they're breeding at all times. You have to set it up so that they breed into something that spread their eggs over something so that you can save the eggs and go from there. By the way, I will say this about micro worms and banana worms and all that sort of stuff. They smell. Holy cow. The original ones that I got, I had my micro worm thing blow up, and it was, my culture blow up. And, and, uh, and here's what's going on. Oh, a news story. Let's see what this is. Let's see what I'm guessing we're going to be seeing hold on. Oh, Ruth Bader Ginsburg's in the hospital again. All right. So that lady, she's tough, man. She is tough. So yeah, the green jades, that's a great idea, Ambust. And maybe that's one of the varieties I do. I'm really enjoying these fire reds. I think they're great. So I'm loving that. I got the new Pleco caves, and yeah, no, it was not Maury saying I was the father. It no, Maury didn't weigh in on that. So it's not like Hunter Biden, who had a Maury call this week. So congratulations to him and the entire family. So the deal is with with these fish, you can come up with reasons to set up new aquariums at all times. I mean, really come up with reasons to set up new aquariums. And I'm pretty excited about the new aquariums that I have going up. I can't wait for those things to go back up. And so that's so that's the fun. So yeah, so I may with and I hate missing a live stream. Aquamate, what's up? My Aussies are here. All good. Welcome, Aquamate. You guys doing a live stream tonight, by the way? Which is tomorrow morning your time? It's normally you guys do one at 9 p.m. Eastern time in the United States, and at 6 p.m. Pacific in the United States, and that's a fun live stream. And I enjoy watching it and going on from there. My hours are changing at the office, so it's like and is that so um, starting a week from Monday, my hours are from 6 a to 2 p, which is great. Ah, it's your boy's birthday. Excellent. Happy birthday to your son. That's great. And so the process, yeah, so if I'm thinking that if I don't get the paddock, if I don't get like in the owner's box, I may not go to Louisville and just put it off to another time because Wayno, my horse that's running at Churchill Downs next weekend, he'll be back at Churchill Downs. So that's sort of his deal. I don't know where he's going to be running in the winter. It's if he wins this race, he's going to be doing some. Now this is just freakish, but he's probably going to be doing some Derby preps for the Kentucky Derby. And I don't know if he's there. I don't know if he's that good. It's but if he is, that would be fantastic. Just to go in and make that be very, very cool. So yeah, so in the setting up of new aquariums, I did buy some shrimp substrate, and so I've got that. I'm ready to rock and roll with my first 4 tanks. I'll have that set up. Again, it's now that these people are coming through and doing that, I'm going to go and get that all set up. Oh, really, Fancy Tail Aquatics? You're just 12 miles from Churchill. Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, it's I'm going to go again. I think it's and and how they do this just to go, and I know this is a fish thing, but the deal is about the horses. They won't enter him until tomorrow, or not tomorrow, Monday. He'll be entered, and so we'll know what's going through. Well, Tater Salad, thank you so much for being here. Get some sleep, and and thank you very much for hanging out with us. It was great having you here, and any time spent in the hanging out and doing this, I really appreciate it. Hey, Mr. B, it's okay, Brandon. We appreciate it. Good having you here as well. So it's so the process of getting these aquariums up is just it's pretty amazing. The one thing, hey, thank you very much, Mr. B. I really appreciate it. Yeah, it's what's today's late fee, Doug? So I have in both of my swordtail tanks, I've gotten a lot of the males out to go in the bigger tank. So I think tomorrow I'm gonna pull plants out, so it's easier to get them because I have a lot of primarily guppy grass and hair algae, and depending on the aquarium, some of the aquariums have hornwort, and one of the aquariums has Java moss. And the Java moss, I'm not going to care that much about. That's I don't need to worry about that. That's in one of my Roebuck red tanks, so we'll get that all set up. You see, yeah, there you go, Brandon. It's you can come in at any time. If you come in late, there's a late fee. Uh, not really. You get thanks for going out and sharing the live stream. I really appreciate it. No, this is not vodka. This is Dasani. And last night I got home and I sipped on a little Maker's Mark, and I think I had a little more than what I was planning. I got up and I'm going, whoa! So I had to make sure I ate extra just to deal with it. I drank some extra water, and I have Powerade, Diet Powerade in the house, so that's good news. Yeah, dizzy Mobb is not a good thing. Thank goodness I wasn't trying to do water changes in the process. Um, it's so yeah. So I was talking. And by the way, speaking, going back to water just for a second. Doug and I were talking about the water, and all of a sudden I had a couple of problems. He suggests there may be something wrong in the water itself. They may have changed what they're doing with it. So when I fill up my tub here this week to get ready for the next water changes, I'm gonna double up on the Chem Prime, and so and make sure that it ages a little bit longer all the way. So that's sort of the deal that I'm going to do with that and get that in place. It's it's the fish. Again, they're just for the most part doing really well. They love their baby brine. They love their it's the Doug Gray protein food, which is very good. They love that. They get that once or twice a day. I give ultra it's Cobalt Ultra Guppy thing, and yeah, I think you're right, Doug. I think it does a good job. I think you're right. They pump the hell out of something, and so I think that's I think you're absolutely right. They were pumping for some they loaded up with chloramines or chlorine or both because they had like something in the system that wasn't quite right. And this is how sick it's become. And I have a question for you. Does anyone drink water out of the tap anymore without going through your own personal filter in the house, or just drinking bottled water? Does anyone do that anymore? And part of me, um, okay, you have a filter, Doug. Yeah, I just think that's sort of the big deal. So in the setting up of these breeders, these guppy breeders, obviously we're gonna, I just because of their size, the females are small. They're not quite breeding size yet, but they're not far away. Trust me, it's the way that I'm pumping them full of baby brine shrimp and high quality, high protein foods like D Gray, high protein food. Um, they grow pretty quick, so these guys will be they'll be set up and ready to go here. And so I'm pretty excited about the whole process. I need to do a measuring thing, and I have to sort of figure it out. Um, and doing a grow out on the new rack that I'm putting in. I have the 810s already purchased. The one thing I have to sort of figure out is if I can put two 20s on it to do a grow out thing where I put females on one side, males except for a few tracer females on the other side to allow them to grow out. And you don't have to worry about you can go and mix and match your strains for the most part. There's a couple of strains I can't sort. One of the swordtails I have to keep separate, but but for the rest of them, I'm probably in pretty good shape. So we'll figure that out. I'm just playing around with ideas there. When I finally get into the house, I having a central air thing for air pump for everybody would probably be really a good idea. I prefer, as crazy as this may seem, I prefer the temperature. Uh, I keep right now it's 67 degrees in here. I'm wearing short sleeves, pretty comfortable. Um, in the summer, I usually keep it set like 71, 72 when I'm at home, and I'll let the raise the air conditioning up to like 75 because I have a little dog. So a lot of people keep their fish room at at the temperature they want to do because they say it saves them money. I'm wondering how many aquariums does that take to get there? Just out of curiosity. I was in a fish room tour, earlier this year, and the guy didn't have a lot of aquariums, but he had his own. He had like an outbuilding that he built for his fish, and when I mean a lot of aquariums, he probably had 40, and he had a lot of he had some guppies, a lot of angelfish, he had a lot of angelfish. He had a couple of different types of live bears. One very interesting swordtail. Um, and this guy, was heating it and keeping the fish room at like 80 degrees. And it was like one of those large commercial um large commercial type of electric heaters, and he was saying his electric bill every month was $400. And I'm going, that makes no sense in the winter. None. And I'm just going through, it's and I understand the house is a different thing. So I'm just going, how many heaters do you have to have? Uh, you know, how many aquariums with heaters do you have to have until it becomes cheaper to keep the room at the temperature you need it? And there has to be a little line there, whatever that is. And so it's like right now I have you know well, my 10 aquarium setup, 9F heaters, the Amica Splendens does not, it stays at room temperature. Um, so my bill last month for electricity, where I stopped using air conditioning on a regular basis, was um, the temperature was, the bill was like $80. So $80 is $80, it isn't a bad thing. And so, and realizing my heaters were doing more work last month once it got below a certain temperature. So again, I don't know. I don't know what the deal is there. I'm trying to figure that out. So It's and because I'm new in this place and my heat is natural gas, just to go into some of the mundane stuff I share with everybody here. I actually have paid ahead on my gas bill. So it's I've gone out and I've paid them it's I have $100 extra on the thing, just realizing that I'm gonna be spending, on heat, on natural gas heat, and with the temperature going down. Tonight's getting down to 30, but this week is gonna be the highs are gonna be in the 40s and 50s all week. So it's not like it's not going to be really cold. We had a cold spell here a couple of weeks ago where we were getting down to 12 degrees, which is pretty cold. I wear shorts around the fish room and a t-shirt. And my sort of line is to where when I go out and put on long pants, unless I'm going to work. If I'm going to work, I wear long pants. If it's usually my line's about, and I have to walk a dog. So my line normally is about 20 degrees. I'll keep in shorts. And but I was walking in shorts when it was at 12, 13 degrees. And and there was only one of those mornings where I said, yeah, that'd been a much better deal to wear long pants. I got socks on. I got coat, jacket on, a sweater. It's all good. So that's sort of the deal there. So yeah, I'm enjoying watching the fish. They really are doing great. So that's fun. And the 55 is becoming, the male guppy haven. I'm putting more in seemingly every day. In fact, I'll do that tomorrow as I go out and do stuff. Anthony's Fishy Friends, welcome. Welcome to the live stream. 12 here, 16 thumbs up. Thank you guys so much for being here tonight. I know this is kind of a weird week because a lot of people are beginning to travel for the holiday, and a lot of people have next week off. And it's one of the big weeks that people take, where they make that drive to, hey, 17. Thank you very much, Anthony. And 13 here right now. I really appreciate it, gang. So so that's so this is kind of a weird day just because people are traveling, people are going through that. I may go up live on Thanksgiving for a period and may do a little bit of a live stream on Thanksgiving because it's just me. I'm hanging out here at the homestead. I may do a little bit of a live stream. It's depending on what's going on with football. I'll have something prepared. I'll give everybody a 30-minute notice that I'm doing it. So I'll make more of a decision on this in the next in the next 24 hours or so. So it's just I've just got to get all this stuff done with the wacky tour. The landlord's coming through here, so that's what a pain in the butt that is. I get they want to make sure I'm not like cooking meth in here, but the maintenance guy just been in. Now they say they're doing maintenance, and I guess they are concerned about pests. They want to make sure that landlords get sued if people end up with bed bugs and stuff like that. I'm pretty cool. I don't have any bed bug issues. My skin is clear. My I don't have sores all over my body. By the way, God, this is a weird question, but hey, it's a live stream, so what the heck? Is there a good way to culture bed bugs to feed to fish as a live food? Just curious. By the way, I understand nobody ever wants those. And you know how they get rid of them? Because if all of a sudden you get infested with bed bugs, you know how they get rid of them? Yeah, they can spray for them. There's certain chemicals to get rid of them. The big one is to superheat your home, your apartment or townhouse or whatever it is. And you get the temperature on the inside up to like 130 degrees for I don't know if it's for an hour or whatever, and that will kill them all. So it fries them away. Now with fish, I guess you have to really cover them up and hope it doesn't cook your fish in the process. Do you now? This is something. Do you weigh out uh, cooking the fish or continuing with bed bugs? For a lot of us, that would be a real thought. It'd be a conundrum. Be a conundrum for all of us to fall. So, Bolo just raised his head. All four of his feet are in the air like he just don't care. Hey, Crystals, what's up? Crystals, pets, and plants in the house. Welcome. Welcome to the live stream. So, so that's sort of the deal there. So they're going to spray for critters. I don't have any problems with with any pests in this thing. The only complaint I have about this rental I'm in is that the front door does not have an overhang, and because of that, it like one day, like we had like some ice and stuff about a week ago. I mean, I had to like with two hands yank on the door to open it up. So because rain went in and it froze the door. In fact, I have a back door which I have like fish stuff in front of it. So if I ever get a fire in my home, it's in the kitchen. I'm gonna have to like move crap out of the way to get out the door. So it is what it is. And that's and the bedrooms are on the second floor, so all of a sudden if it breaks out in the kitchen, is that where most fires kick out, by the way? I think it is. um I'm going to be calling 911 and trying to make one of those deals to to hook use my sheets to lower myself down or wait for a friendly firefighter to show up to get me out. So we'll all good. That's keep it nice and clean. Um, so I've got worm cultures up. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys one of the worm cultures I got, the micro worms, crashed, and I had only had it in the I bought this at the Traditional Aquarium Club in Springfield, Missouri, a couple of weeks ago, and like day 3, all of a sudden there's mold in it. And so I tried starting a new culture, and doggone it, that mold was all through it. So I had to throw that completely out. I set up the new cultures. I did the video on them, and I think they're doing pretty well. I'm gonna see if I can get in and use them to feed for dinner tonight off of that right from there. But the original cultures I got were beginning to smell so bad. I mean, it was it's in my living room. There's two places I eat, on the couch or standing over the sink. I'm a single guy. And every single man can tell you the story that if there's a garbage disposal and they can lean over the sink and just run the water, if anything dribbles off the chin, they'll do it. Well, it was smelling so bad, so I had to. I mean, I just I had to throw it out, and so that's that. Yeah, the leaning over is really important, Doug. And again, as a freshly divorced man, I have gotten into the habit of being single really quick, really fast. I've got it all set up. It's I do whatever I can though not to leave pizza boxes all over the house and empty beer bottles. I had a coworker once. His wife was out of town. This buddy of mine, he's like one of my best friends, but is he, it's his wife has domesticated my buddy really well. And now this is how domesticated he was. The wife was out of town with their daughter for a weekend. There was some sort of a mother-daughter deal, okay? Which is great. Well, this guy comes into the office on Monday. What did he do with time away? It was like during football season. He wasn't watching the game. He made banana bread and brought it in. I just go, dude, you're way too domesticated. You made banana bread. Your wife's away. It should be pizza boxes, beer bottles everywhere, all the stuff you normally wouldn't do. Making banana bread is a sign of a domesticated man. Anybody arguing with me on that? I think that's as good as it gets. So one of our female coworkers started busting his chops over this whole process of him making banana bread. And she all of a sudden started talking about some TV show, and that was like on Lifetime or We or one of the channels that the lady folks enjoy. And this buddy of mine goes in and goes, "Oh, I saw that. It was really good." And I'm going, no. And the banana bread was fine. It was delicious. It's my domesticated buddy coworker. I no longer work with him, but he's like one of my best friends. So it's and his wife likes it when I bust his chops. So it's it was this guy and I went out, and this is probably about 15 years ago, and we were invited to go out from the office to see stunt planes fly. It was like a client. Okay, you don't have to ask me twice to go out in person to ask stunt planes fly. And these are like open air, like World War I type planes, but they were, newer construction. And they're doing loop de loops and all this sort of stuff. Well, they come down, they go, "Well, do you want to go out for a ride in it?" I'm going, "Hell yes, I'm on it." My buddy, he goes, "Oh, I don't know. Maybe I need to contact my wife for permission." I said, "No, man up, get into one of these planes and do loop de loops and do stuff like that." And he goes, "Huh." He goes, "Well, I don't know." I made him. I forced him, absolutely forced him to do it. And he afterwards was the happiest man in the world. He enjoyed it more than I did. And I loved it. It was great. It was like, and it was, and again, if one of the planes would have crashed, I'd been, dead. But was it fun? Yeah, I do that. I'm not necessarily an adrenaline junkie. There's some people that love doing stuff that, mountain climbing, all that sort of stuff. Not necessarily my dig. I like roller coasters, but I don't necessarily go out of my way. Some people are addicted to anything that has any type of adrenaline. You know what my adrenaline is? My adrenaline is talking to you. My adrenaline is changing water on my fish aquariums. That's my adrenaline. And so it's like there's the one thing I would like to do, and Melvin, happy birthday to your niece. The one thing I would love to do is parachute, jump out of a plane. It's that's the one thing I would love to do. And it's just the type of adrenaline type of thing. It's but something, some folks are just adrenaline junkies. The adrenaline to them is like cocaine or something like that. Zen Ginger, I'll tell you what, it's just the idea of parachuting to Earth and seeing everything out is such a for me would be neat to do once. I've always sort of wanted to do it, and I've never done it. And so maybe that's what I'll do this next summer. I'll go out and find a service that does it, and I'll check their safety rating. Because if they have a bad safety rating on that, not going. It's like getting on those duck boats in Branson. Not doing it after those, like 20 people died on that. So it's all good. So it's going from there. So yeah, so a big holiday week. I hope you guys have a great one. And well, I'll tell you what, Zen Ginger. Let's talk about this just for a second. And folks who have a religious background sometimes refer to this as providence. Um, the idea here is every time you leave your home and get into a car, a myriad of things could happen. You leave 30 seconds earlier, 10 seconds later, whatever that is, something bad could happen. I was on my way somewhere about 6 weeks ago, and I was actually going to church, of all things, and going to a house of worship. And so I leave, I get in the car, I'm on my way over, and out of nowhere, and this is like 8:30 in the morning, a car comes zipping out of a neighborhood, not stopping at a stop sign or anything like this, and missed me by 50 feet. Totally, I mean, freakishly, it was very close. And all of a sudden, I noticed cops were following this car. The person was on the run. News went out and had it covered that this guy had a warrant out, and they caught him at 8 a.m. of all things. He went through neighborhoods, eventually crashed his car into a building, and was apprehended shortly thereafter. Well, so here's the deal: is that if I would have left my home, taken a turn a certain way, 1 second quicker, I could have been hit. I could have been hurt seriously. So the idea is no matter what, when you go through life, it's sort of a gift. You go through and you do all these traveling. You're more than likely to be killed in your car than you are on an airplane. You're more than likely to be, I mean, just statistically speaking, is that we are in such little control. One of the reasons people are scared to fly in a jet, get on a commercial jet and fly somewhere, they get, is because they don't have a control over the situation. Well, you don't have control over any situation, really, when you think about it. When you're behind the wheel of a car, yeah, you feel like you're in better control, but you have no idea what some moron coming out of a neighborhood is going to do. You have no idea at all. Well, yeah, that's take some Dramamine, like 5 of them, Zen Ginger, to do that. No, and by the way, I don't have a lot of fear of things. The one thing I am scared of is height. Like if I am, looking down from a building or what have you, I can become very queasy. not big into heights. That's Bolo's tail, everybody. There he is. He's decided he wants to look at his food for a second. So that's just sort of the deal there. Temperature wise, every day is a gift. Every breath we take is a gift. Every opportunity to be here together with you guys, it's a gift. Total gift. And we as people don't appreciate how amazing things are. We don't come from a place of appreciation. I appreciate things, or try to. I think we all become cynical. It's just a natural way for all of us. But I try to appreciate things. Appreciate that, that I've gotten somewhere safely. Appreciate that, I ate something and I'm not violently puking. We put so many things, that are totally. One of the reasons I love going to Waffle House is that they're cooking in front of you. You can sit there at the counter. You can watch them prepare whatever you want to get. Or a diner. A lot of diners that way, they have right in front of you, they're cooking. The sushi chef right in front of you, they're cooking. They're cutting up the sushi. You sit at the sushi bar. I went to a Japanese restaurant and I said, "Hey, where's your sushi bar?" They go, "Well, we don't have one." I said, "See ya." I walked right out. Why? I want to see. I want to see the sushi being made. Just the deal. Hey, thanks a lot, gang, for being on the live stream. I really appreciate you and being a part of it. Tomorrow's video showing you the breeders comes out at 11 Eastern, 8 Pacific. And appreciate if you get a look at it. And again, thanks for watching Mobb Guppy, where the Guppy is the mob.